Hello, this is Jack from tofluency.com. Let me know if you can hear me this time. And today I'm going to teach some phrasal verbs and collocations and phrases related to being at home. Okay, so if you want to know the context and you're watching the replay, look at the date. Now, if you're new here, then welcome. My name is Jack and I teach English here on YouTube. I do two things. Firstly, subscribe to the channel. It would be great to have you here. And then also, and this is for everyone, check out the video in the description because it talks about how you can learn English on your own at home and what methods you need to follow in order to do that. So welcome everybody who is joining live. It is so good to have you all here. Just say hello in the comment section and then click the like button so more people can find this. Okay, I've got quite a lot of phrases to share today. Some you might think are quite simple, but these are everyday phrases and I'm going to give you lots of examples. And I also want you to leave your own examples in the chat or in the comments. So when I go through these phrases, practice, okay? Now, the first one, and I'm using a whiteboard today. If you've been here for a while, you might remember this whiteboard. I've been using it for years. All right, the first one, I'm going to give you two actually with get. Now, on my channel, I made a big lesson all about get, phrases with get, collocations, phrasal verbs. Again, check that out. Watch that after this one. But the first one is to get up. Now, everybody knows this, right? You know this one, get up. But I'm just going to give you some phrases that my wife and I are using at the moment. And the first one is, can you get up with the kids today? Right? I'll say that again. Can you get up with the kids today? Can you get up with the kids today? It's very quick, isn't it? So we're asking if the other person can get up with the kids to go take them downstairs. Okay, can you get up with the kids today? Can you get up with the kids today? Another one is, we're getting up a little bit later than normal right now. So we're getting up in the present continuous. We're getting up a little bit later than normal tomorrow. And then you can also say, we don't have to get up until later. We don't have to get up until later. Now, get up means, in this situation, to leave your bedroom and to start your day. And it's different than wake up. Wake up is when you open your eyes, but get up means when you get out of bed and you start your day. All right, the next one is, I think, really important right now, and it depends on where you are in the world, but I think this is super important. Get outside, to get outside. And there's a phrase that a lot of people use here, which is to get outside and get some fresh air. I need to get some fresh air. Because when you're inside, the air isn't as good as outside. So to get outside and get some fresh air. Get outside and get some fresh air. At the moment, I'm trying to get outside about 5 times a day. The weather is gorgeous right now. The weather is incredible. So I'm trying to get outside as much as possible. I'm trying to get outside. And we use trying to signify that it's not always that easy because I'm busy working, kids, etc. So to get outside, I think it's important to get outside and to get some fresh air. Now, there are various ways to say this next one, or there are lots of different phrases for it, but I'm going to give you this, and it's this one here. Tidy up, tidy up. Tidy up. This is used a lot in our house at the moment. Okay? tidy up your toys. If you get that out, you have to tidy it up later. And to tidy something up means to put things away. If you make a mess, you need to put them away. So, for example, we tell our children, before you go outside, tidy up your toys, because there are toys everywhere. So to tidy up your toys means to put the toys back in the cupboard or in a box. To tidy up. Yes, so that means to tidy up. You can also say clean up, to clean up. Clean up your mess. Clean up your mess. So those are pretty common right now at the moment. How's everyone doing? How is everybody doing in the chat? I'm reading your comments and I'll answer some questions at the end, okay? So we have get up, get outside, tidy up. Tidy up is pick up, kind of. It can be used in similar situations, but pick up, it could mean anything. You know, pick that up. Or, can you pick that up for me? It's too heavy, etc. Now, something similar. Okay, and I love this one. This is such a useful phrasal verb. Very useful phrasal verb. And if you're enjoying this, then please click the like button. Get rid of. Okay, I said get rid of because I was saying up when I was writing. To get rid of. How is my handwriting? Is it good handwriting? Can you understand it? Get rid of. To get rid of things. Get rid of. We need to get rid of some old clothes. We need to get rid of those toys you don't use anymore. We need to get rid of all that mess, okay? And someone just said spring cleaning. Spring cleaning. Yeah. So at the moment it's spring and people are spring cleaning at home. So to get rid of things could mean a few different things. It could mean to throw away in the trash, donate, or sell. Throw away, donate, or sell. So, for example, if we want to get rid of our daughter's old clothes, we usually give them to somebody else that we know, to somebody else who has a young girl. So to get rid of, to donate. To get rid of, it could also mean to throw away, okay? But it could also mean to sell. Let's get rid of those old things we don't use anymore. Let's sell them, get rid of, okay? So, let's get rid of. Next one. Okay. This is an interesting one because there's an American way to say this and a British way. And at the moment, because I'm in America, I use the American terms more often. So, put the kids down. And this is an interesting one because I'm also going to give you a different meaning too. Put the kids down. Do you know what that means? To put the kids down. Okay? To put the kids down. It means to put the kids to bed. Put the kids to bed. So if you have young children, and you probably know this, that when it's the bedtime for the kids, when it's bedtime for the kids, an adult, the parent, will take them upstairs, read them a story, help them brush their teeth, tuck them in bed. That's putting the kids down. In British English, we say put the kids to bed. Now, the reason I put dog here is because when you say dog, it has a completely different meaning. It has a completely different meaning. Put the dog down. Okay? This means when you take it to the vet and the vet gives the dog an injection to kill the dog because it's sick or it has really bad cancer or it's broken its back, to put the dog down. So don't confuse that with put the kids down. Very different meanings. Okay, let's now talk about some more phrases that we're using around the house and that you can use around the house too. The next one is, I like this. And my wife is going to tell me this very soon. She's going to say, Jack, I need a break. I need a break. I need a break. I need a break. So just to give you context, we have 2 children at home. My son is home schooling, so he's going through his schoolwork at home and we're teaching him. My daughter is 2. My wife's a teacher, so she has to teach her kids as well, and I'm a teacher. So we're very busy, it's hectic. We're very grateful that we're all safe. It's very hectic though, and we often say, I need a break. I'm going to take 10 minutes upstairs. I need a break. Need a break. Okay. So need a break. You can also say like, I need to take a break. I need to take a break. And that could be used in lots of different situations. Take a break. Feel free to practice these phrases in the chat so then other people can see it as well. All right, next one. This is a funny one. Have you seen this? Just a very simple question. My wife and I are asking this a lot at the moment. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? And this is generally when a friend posts on Facebook and I say, have you seen what they posted? Have you seen this? And I show them the screen. It could also be used for headlines when there's news breaking. So have you seen this? Have you seen this headline? This is used a lot in our house at the moment. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? It can also be used for, have you seen The Crown? Have you seen The Crown? Have you seen The English Game? Have you seen this TV series? Have you seen what's it called? Tiger King. Everyone's talking about Tiger King at the moment. So, at the moment, well, we have just finished The Crown. If we're talking TV series, and TV series, watching them is a great way to learn English. So, we have just finished The Crown. I think we're going to watch The English Game next. Maybe Tiger King. Let me know your recommendations. Also, this is a panda. I got my wife this mug for her birthday. And if you're wondering, speaking of football, the English Game, this is Preston North End. This is the team I support, Preston North End. Somebody said Shameless. Yeah, so Shameless, I think, started in the UK, but there's an American version of that now. All right. Another question that is often asked in this house is, what are we having for, can you complete the sentence? What are we having for, what are we having for, I'm going to write it down. There it is. What are we having for dinner or lunch? Exactly. What are we having for lunch? What are we having for dinner? It's a very common question. What are we having for dinner? So at the moment, I make lunch, my wife makes dinner. We have a great routine at the moment. Yeah. What are we having for dinner, Kate? Last night, we had shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie. Now, shepherd's pie is basically meat and mashed potatoes in a sauce, and you bake it in the oven. It was one of the best dinners I have ever had. It was unbelievable. And we got it from a local restaurant who delivered what, in the US they call it takeout. Takeout. In the UK it's takeaway. Takeout and takeaway. But it was just unbelievably good. So, so good. So yeah, what are we having for dinner? What are we having for lunch? What we having, or if my children say it, what are we having for lunch? What are we having for dinner? In that kind of intonation. Next one. Turn. Turn. And in a lot of ways, sometimes we can use put, but I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Turn up, turn down. Turn up the volume, turn down the volume. Turn down the telly. I'm trying to go live on YouTube. Turn it down. Using that kind of intonation. Yeah, so we're talking about volume and television audio here. Turn it down, turn it down. Or turn that song up, turn that song up. So when we're playing music, I want to turn the music up. Let's turn it up. My wife normally wants to turn it down. And then be careful here. There are various ways that we can use this next one. Turn on. Turn on. Turn on the TV. Turn it on. We can also say put. Put on the TV. Can I put on the TV? Can I put on the show? Can I put on the TV? Can I turn on the telly? Someone just said. Turn on the telly. Exactly. Telly. Telly. Like a television. TV, telly, television. Yep. Just reading some of the comments. Any other, I keep losing this thing. Any other phrases that you can use around the house? It's now your turn to tell me some of these phrases. Do I have any more that I wrote down? Watch a show. Let's watch something tonight. Let's watch something tonight. So we talk about that quite a lot. What are we watching tonight? What are we having for dinner? What are we doing today? What time are you teaching? Lots of questions right now. Lots of questions. And speaking of questions, I'm just going to get more comfortable. Feel free to ask me some questions right now, okay? I'm going to do these live lessons and focus on just phrases that you can use right now. I might make some regular videos, but definitely go and check out all the lessons I've made. It's a good time to go through past lessons and to repeat them if you've already watched them. But I highly recommend going through the lesson and pointing to it in the description, and then, learning about how you can learn English on your own right now. What does get up to mean? Get up to. Yeah, so it can mean a few things, but to get up to something means to do something. Usually that's a little bit different. Okay, try and keep the questions a little bit shorter. I can't read long questions. It's my first time being your amazing lessons and just signed up. Well, good to have you. Yeah, if you're new here, just click the subscribe button and then check out my past lessons. Okay, I'm going to answer some questions as quickly as I can. Hello, I haven't seen you for donkey's years. So a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that, but I release a lesson usually once a week at the moment. It's a bit different because we're stuck at home, or we have to be at home, I guess. So I moved out of my studio and I'm in the office right now. Are we supposed to ask questions only relevant to the topic? No, ask anything. Ask away. Ask any questions. I've got about 5 minutes now to answer those questions. I love this question. Why do you sometimes pronounce the final G in some of the words that end in ing? Because where I am from, specifically Preston, we do that. So there are so many different variants of rules when it comes to the way people speak. And where I am from in Preston, we sometimes say the G at the end. I love it. I used to try and avoid it, but now I just do it. Sing. I think it sounds good. I sometimes say sing, but mainly sing. I can't differentiate between phrasal verbs and collocations. Can you explain it simply? It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Because when I look at the definitions of phrasal verbs and collocations, a phrasal verb can be a collocation. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Esther says, how do you work out these days? It's hard. It's hard. I try to go for lots of walks, and then I do body weight exercises. And now I'm going to start just doing some football drills in the garden and just enjoy it. What's the difference between how about and what about? There isn't a big difference, I don't think. How about applying for that job? What about applying for that job? Not a big difference that I can think of. I'm from Russian. I'm from Russia. Haha. It's funny. I'm your big fan and have subscribed to you from Thailand. Thank you, Patrick. What should I do to get your prefabricated sentences? Well, I do have a program, the To Fluency program, which, if you can afford it, I think is fantastic value. You get, I think about 1,200 sentences that are recorded and come in memory card format, so digital flashcards. You can download those, put it into Anki, and then go from there. Is there any place around your house where people walk? Yes, so we live in a quiet neighborhood, what's called a cul-de-sac, or there's only one way in and one way out. It's quite quiet and there are a lot of kids around. The hard thing is to keep the kids apart, but we're doing it okay. Let's see. I would like to be posh in English. Help me. Tiny example. Listen to Boris Johnson or Jacob Rees-Mogg and then just imitate them. This is the great thing about the imitation method, or what I call the LRRC method. Because what you do is you take audio, you take phrases, and you can choose anyone. So you can choose Hugh Grant, for example, and then you listen to the phrase, you repeat the phrase, you record yourself saying it, and then you compare the difference. So you listen to the original and to your version, and then you make changes. And the more you practice this, the better you get at making those changes. Best resources for TOEFL. I don't really have specific advice for that, but just make sure that you get lots of past papers and you get a good teacher. I think when it comes to exam preparation, getting a teacher is key. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, and everyone, click that like button. I'm trying to understand why it is easier for me to speak with an American accent rather than a British one. Well, I think you're from Brazil, and if so, it's probably because you have more of an American influence there, whereas people in France have more of a British one because of the proximity in the cultural relationship. You're probably just used to it more. That's probably why. It's usually the case. So people in certain countries are exposed to, they are surrounded by a specific accent. Now it's a good time to learn English. Thank you, Jack. Solly from Finland. Good to have you here, Solly. Has a class finished for verbs and collocations? Yes, we're into the question and answer now. Is it good for me to look up a word, then translate it to my mother language? Sentences and phrases. Because if you just translate a single word, a lot of the time there are various meanings of this word. And if you just translate it and take the first one, it won't make sense for the context. So learn phrases. It's all about sentences. This is the key for me when it comes to learning new language. Context, strong context. It has to be in context in terms of the sentence and also who is using that sentence and how they're using it. Then you need to think about how you can get repetition of that sentence so you internalize it. All right, someone's saying, please tell me how I can improve my fluency in English. Watch the video in the description and use those methods. I talk about things like the LRRC method, the imitation method, shadowing, writing, how to read better. So much that you can do. Okay, on that note, I am going to end this class here. We're going to have more live lessons next week. Send me or leave a comment below telling me what you want me to do. I'm mainly going to cover phrases and sentences, just stuff that you can learn. And then it's a good idea after the class to write those phrases down and to think about how you're going to learn them over the long term. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you are keeping safe, doing well. And yeah, I will speak to you all soon. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you again for being here. Bye-bye.